You know, I get asked all the time, hey, why'd you leave Seventh Level? I get asked that all the time. And it sort of reminds me of a really cool story. So there's a guy called Warren Farrell. He was a sort of guy that was supporting the feminist movement in like the 60s. And he wrote a book about the myth of male power. But anyway, and he was a clinical psychologist and he had a client. He was a really, really successful guy. And he sort of writes about this dude. And the guy came to him and said that one of his biggest regrets was, he had a kid and he had like no relationship with him because he was running this huge business, doing this huge thing, and it was mega. But he sort of spent the entire childhood of his first child kind of doing that thing. And so Warren Farrell said, like, well, what do you want to do? Like, what's the plan? And he said, I think I'm going to take 5 years off because his wife was pregnant again. He goes, I'm going to take 5 years off and do nothing and just spend time with my wife and child. And it's a really cool story. He helped him through that. He stopped doing the business and just spent time. Like, he had enough. He was wealthy. And it's a cool story that turns into an amazing story when you realize that guy was John Lennon. And, John Lennon didn't know at that time that he was going to be murdered 3 years later. And so he decided he had 3 years at home with his little baby and child and wife, and got to experience that and was 100% in that in the time that he had left. He didn't know that, right? And none of us know that. And so, there were a number of reasons why I left. I have a great relationship with Jeremy. Not the other fucking douchebag, but Jeremy. So like I had dinner with him last time I was in the States. But, I left for a number of reasons, but most of all which was you don't know how much time you have to do things that make you happy. And, your kids don't want your dime, they want your time. So there you go.